American Morning, the most news in the morning, period. Weekdays 6 Eastern.
So you witnessed firsthand what a dangerous place and region this is. Why did you go?
Well, I have been dealing with that area for the last 20 years. I had worked during the past 2 or 3 years trying to help them form a new government. They had a government that I met with 3 or 4 times in Nairobi. They were meeting outside of Somalia called the Transitional Federal Government. And they were not strong enough to maintain themselves. There was another group called the ICU, the Islamic Courts Union, now called the Alliance, that then took over a bit. It's a complicated story, but the U.S. suggested that Ethiopia intrude in to bring peace, although Ethiopia is hostile to Somalia, right. So that was really the wrong peacekeepers.
You said, though, that this trip was largely successful. What about being fired on with your plane? What was that like? What happened?
Well, I think that there's certainly a group, the Al-Shabaab, who may be the closest link to Al-Qaeda. They do not want to see this government work. That's what it's all about. And I think the fact that I went there, that there were no problems during the day. We went around to various places, met with women's groups, met with the Prime Minister, the President, cabinet people. I believe this was a desperation. They don't want to see this new 2-month government succeed. But I assured President Sheikh Sharif that we would want to engage. They have a plan that they feel they can deal with piracy on the ground, on the land, rather than them in the sea, which makes it very difficult.
Right.
And so they will be coming up with a plan in a couple of weeks, and we'll submit it to our government and myself. And
well, that's what I want to ask you about. The good news is you guys didn't even know that you had been fired upon until after you were safely in Kenya. So the engine noise actually drowned that out. So thank goodness you guys were safe. But clearly this is a dangerous situation that's been going on. We were just talking about this other brazen pirate attack, a U.S. flagship. They fired RPG rounds. They fired semi-automatic weapons. Did the leaders that you talked to have a handle on how dangerous this is? And did they understand the urgency with which the international community wants them to do something?
Oh, no question about it. They think that it's going to prevent Somalia from moving forward. They know it's a dark mark on their country. They want to see it end. And but you see, the pirates have money with the cartels and the groups that support them. Al-Shabaab gets money from extremists who are anti-U.S. The government are the ones with no funds. And so they said that it's very difficult, even though they're going to go forward anyway.
Right.
But they're the ones that really need the support.
Were they support? Admiral Mike Mullen, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, had said he hadn't ruled out perhaps attacking within Somalia. Would the government support that, an outside country like the United States launching attacks to try to cut down on piracy?
I think if we supported the new government, had them form their own police, they have no police, they have no military, they know what to do, they know the terrain, I think it would make a lot more sense to give them the resources to see if they can do it themselves. If that fails, then you can bring it. I think it would, at this time, be a mistake to send in troops to try to weed out these terrorists.